Well, the Hanzo Genji Cup continues, and we're heading again to Aldrich Pass. I'm not gonna complain about the map again. No, I'm definitely gonna complain about the map. So, yeah, Aldrich Pass is just an insane staple, but apparently this time it was even chosen by the Europeans. So HGCEULUL has had map choice, and the Anti-Clown Association, the NA team, went for first pick, first ban. So another NA versus EU match here on the North American server. The Hanzo Genji Cup is a tournament, is a little bit of a smaller tournament. We have $1,000 in prize money thanks to Kevin, thanks to Psychiv. And this is all set up on the NA server to more NA-friendly starting times, just to incentivize some of the North American teams to play here. And we had already amazing games. I mean, the fact alone that 30k basically in full force signed up for this tournament and has been playing is awesome. But we not only have NA teams, we also have some European teams. We're currently down to the final 6 teams, and we're playing a full round robin here. We have 4 teams from North America and 2 teams from Europe, and this is one of them. So HGCEULUL hailing from Europe, obviously, whereas the blue team coming from the US here is now going to try and shut them down. Which obviously again means that the European players have a ping disadvantage playing cross-server. But that's something that they got to deal with if they want to play in this tournament. And I mean, the same is true when we're talking about the North American players like Cure, like Madara, that occasionally play on the European server in European tournaments. Same problem. Blaze gets started, starts things up. Mason Blaze with Blaze. I can get behind that. That is actually something that I'm absolutely on board with. This is not confusing. This is exactly the way that it's supposed to be. And it's very Castler friendly. So when we're talking about something like that, yeah, that's awesome. We get Brightwing, we get Diablo. And I talked the other day about like how it's like an insect infestation lately, right? Today I had a killer, like a Sudoku mosquito. I was like sitting on the couch, I was watching some anime, Kaiju number 8 by the way, amazing anime, check it out. And all of a sudden I see from across the room essentially, a massive mosquito, I mean this big, just like flying straight at me. That thing was out for blood, I swear. It would have poked out my eye or something. Thankfully I have the reflexes of a panther and immediately went like BAM! And took it down. But yeah, there was blood everywhere, my blood obviously, but it's kind of insane. I'm getting attacked left, right, and center these days. It's bonkers. So I'm not quite sure where exactly that mosquito came from, but yeah, you could see the stripes on the mosquito and everything. I probably had like a bandana or something as well, but yeah, just bonkers. That thing literally flew at me from the other side of the room, like full on my face. So yeah, Brightwing has sent his friends. Brightwing is a like mischievous, evil little creature full of vengeance, and when it realized it can't take me down by itself, it started to call in friends. That's what happens here. It's honestly disgusting. Yeah, I need another fly swatter for this thing. Anyways, Anubarak plus Blaze, so you have Anubarak charge and Blaze jet propulsion follow-up. Even a Hanzo with this done. So there is a potential CC train that they can unleash on the other team. With now Greymane, and we get Sonya. Nice. Alright, so Diablo, Sonya. Could get some more leaps. Yeah, the Enjoyers have actually been playing with Leap quite a bit, and it was interesting how it worked out. That reminds me again of the combo that we had the other day, where in 20 they went into Crater, and then Sonya jumped, leapt on 3, got a Crater set up, and really pinpointed everything for Diablo to use a Hellgate stun onto the Crater area. And yeah, they just destroyed everyone there. Beautiful play, and I would not mind seeing something like that again after level 20. Now we get Whitemane and we get Thrall as the final 2 picks for the Anti-Clown Association. So a triple front line for the blue team in game number 1. And that leaves us with Dainu as the final pick. His Tracer, Sylvanas and Falsa got all banned out against him. And now the chance, of course, for Dainu to... yeah, what is he going to pop out? Could still get something like Genji here. They go for Li Ming, they want the resets. And they want the extra oomph. Aldrich Pass, first map between HGCEULUL and the Anti-Clown Association. Game number 1, the Anti-Clown Association against the Europeans. On the left, Mason Blaze on Blaze. We got Filth on Anubarak, Valama on a Whitemane, Kelsey on Hanzo, and Roger is playing Thrall. So here we go. We get Rolling Thunder as the level 1 choice. Over on the right side of the map, the European team with Hazops on Sonya. We have Nagrom on Diablo, Dino on Liming, Lopaka on Greymane, and Yazu is playing Brightwing. So, off to the races. Can the Europeans win this? I mean, so far the European teams in the round robin are actually doing fairly okay. So, I'm not saying that they are dominating, but they're doing fairly alright. If you ask me who is the team to beat in this tournament, I would still say it is 30k. They have an incredible team, and obviously they also don't have any problems with ping disadvantages that they gotta deal with. I cannot wait to see the Europeans go up against them. It's gonna be real fun. Those are gonna be the top players in my opinion. But yeah, time will tell who's gonna prevail there. For now we are once again on Aldrich Pass, and we'll see which team is going to be able to walk away with a victory over here. Thrall is all the way at the top. He's all alone, nobody there, and he's like, yeah, maybe I'm going to play this safe. As down at the bottom of the map, we're having an immediate aggressive play against the Fruit Fly. So Brightwing gets attacked quickly, but they were not able to take her down. I personally recommend a Fly Swatter. So, yeah. Do you guys, by the way, know these Fly Swatters that have that big hole in the middle and then around it there's like this writing? Give the fly a chance. Absolutely silly contraption, I'm telling you. Like, if I have a Fly Swatter at home, I don't want to have any mosquito or fly to have a chance. That's just not happening. They will go down. No chance for those thingies. So, yeah. That's just some stuff that is utterly useless. It's the same with that, like, lash that they have on these M&M boxes these days, where you can close them again. Who the hell closes an M&M box? You eat them, and if you puke at the end, that was just the cost of eating it. Worth every calorie, but, like, why on earth would you ever close it again? Ridiculous. And the companies that produce those, they absolutely know that you're not closing it. They know you eat every single one of them until the last peanut is gone. That's just how you do it. They just put it in because, like, you could only eat half of it. Yeah, sure, because that's gonna happen. Incredible. Absolutely insane. Anyways, we got level 4 on the board now. Haven't seen a kill so far, but with level 4, things are starting to get a bit more interesting here for Thrall, for example, with the Frost Wolf pack. So, there we go. We have in the middle of the map, Thrall is going to try and complete this. We're having an attack against Kelsey, yeah, but Hanzo is still fine. Greymane jumped in and tried to shove that bow where the sun doesn't shine, but Kelsey was able to get out. So, yeah. Not too bad. Prisoner camp is unlocking in a moment. And by the way, we have again an Uburak, so they really like to play an Uburak here, just as a general rule, the NA teams. They are hoping to obviously abuse that little trick that we've now seen so many times in action. And, well, it might work. It applies some additional pressure, but the team in red has already seen this play out earlier. They are actually one of the teams that usually play with, or a lot of the players on that team play with Masquerade usually, who did that in Europe over and over and over again. So I would be very much surprised if they would be caught off guard here. I just don't see that happening. So what we're getting instead right now is the teams covering all their bases. Anubarak is trying it again, but as I already said, I do not see that happen. And instead, Godfilth nearly getting killed here. So he's realizing quickly that if he overdoes... Oh, the wall's down and he's gone! He's gone! There's the Calamity kill. And that's exactly the problem when you're going up against teams that know exactly what you're trying to do and that catch you right away. So that's first blood, and it results instantly with a play made by the red team as they're moving over towards the camp to maybe get the first objective. If not that, then at least get a bit of an advantage on the progress bar, and this is what they are able to accomplish. So yeah, nicely done. Well executed. Small advantage now for the European team here. Much further they can go with it, that's obviously still to be seen. And the attacks, they keep coming. They're going for Diablo once again. And Dibbles is able to move out. Nagrom without any trouble here. We have at the top Sonya now rotating over to help out Greymane, abandoning the top lane therefore. for just a couple of seconds. And yeah, down at the bottom of the map, Yasu still flying around there slowly as they again trying to take that lead on the objective. So here we go. Slowly starting to make their move on this. But Valamar trying to stop it, but Whiteman realized very quickly that it might not be the best idea to go there completely solo, so instead the Europeans are pushing further and further, hoping to get the first set of the cavalry here, and they're actually getting very close on this. So this could happen for them. They're only 10 seconds missing. They have a big lead on it, and yeah, question remains, can they fully pull it off now? Bit of an attack in the middle of the map as well. Level 10 is closed, so once that they have heroic abilities, they can play around those too. And let's see if it comes to that. It's only game number 1, but obviously with the round robin, the better you do in the round robin, the better your position is, your seeding is for the final phase of the tournament. So you want to set yourselves up for a very good spot there. And currently they're doing well. We have Disintegrate against the Nubarak's Cocoon. We're getting Bullet, Leap, and Apocalypse as heroic abilities. And now that they are ahead with heroics, they are also immediately trying to finalizing this. So yeah, Disintegrate already getting used. The quick brrrr, and Whitemane is gone. Whitemane eliminated, and they get the objective as well. 2 kills to 0. Now it's level 10 versus level 10. But the problem still remains. You lost A, the objective, and B, in the same vein, you also lost an additional hero. So now it's time to push, and that is where forts will fall. Not too many, I guess, but some of those forts you can definitely kiss goodbye. Hanzo falls too. That makes matters worse, because this is going to limit the resources you can use during your defense. So this is actually going to become a real problem now for the Anti-Clown Association. Because after losing the first fort at the bottom of the map, Greymane is now aiming for the second one up at the top and is trying to destroy this. And the rest of the fight is all anchored around the middle, where they're also doing some solid damage. Blaze, problematic for him. He needed to fall back. They're not only attacked by Greymane, but then also by Brightwing. So 2 forts are now gone. And here in the middle, Nagrom is able to move out, so they can't even get that kill. Dino quickly takes the walls out, ensuring that there's no vision left in the middle for them either. So the blue team is losing a lot of ground right now. And have still not gotten a single kill. So that's a massive problem for them. There's bosses up on the map that could still be claimed, that could still be taken. So that's something that they apparently try to sneak in for. But they also got sniffed out. So I think that the European team knows exactly what might happen currently at the bottom of the map. There's still a bit of vision thanks to those minions. But they already have Sonya on the way. And she is going to double check and make sure that the boss is not just being taken. And well, while that happens, while she was at the bottom, they just moved towards the top and said, okay, if you take the bottom boss, that's fine. But then we're going to respond in kind up at the top lane. And we're going to take that. So topside boss is now about to be claimed. And a part of the team is busy in the middle, taking the opponent's camp out and hoping to, of course, push for the mid lane fort. Maybe not to destroy it outright, but to at least damage it a little bit further. Bosses again claimed on both sides. We're now 8.5 minutes into the game. Level 13 talents are ready for the Europeans, so they're a little bit ahead on that too. And yeah, down on the bottom of the map, the attack also still continuing here, as we have Hazu trying to defend together with the rest of the team. It's a little bit of a dicey one for the boys in blue still. They need a teamfight victory. They're trying to, well, maybe the objective is also going to suffice as it scales into the later stages of the game. You can definitely do a little bit more with it, but having a decent teamfight victory and then trying to snowball, that would definitely go a long way for them right now, because at this moment in time, they are struggling, they are having some problems here. Now, Hanzo went for the Ninja Assassin. Nubarak at this point went full carapace with this build. Not really too many fights there either. I mean, we have 15,000 damage for Li Ming and 13,000 for Thrall, the 2 top damage dealers for their teams. But I'm mainly looking at the next few team fights, because we haven't seen any insane skirmishes that just go on forever. But yeah. Either way, right now we got at the top, Nagro moving in. Lopaka is also making a move. They're trying again for the next objective. So this is where they don't, I mean, they don't have an advantage in talents anymore, but they have at least a level advantage and therefore a stats advantage. So they're setting up around the objective and they're starting to claim that. So already getting a decent progress on this. But the blue team is now trying to defend and is setting up. Thrall, by the way, has so far not even completed his level 4 quest. We're already at level 14. We're 10 minutes in and he just wasn't able to complete his level 4. He got reset there a few times. So that's another thing where they're just missing out on a bit of a power spike that he could benefit from. Just managing with cooldowns, mana, and then the synergy that he maybe picks up, or might be picking up on level 16 when he goes into a potential Alpha Wolf pick. So there is quite a lot that they could do on that end as well now. But again, the pressure at the top. Catapults are going to keep pushing in, or those nulls, and it's going to distract them further. Brightwing is trying to get some extra experience at the bottom of the map for the team. The goal being to grab level 16 quickly and then use it to get the objective. And this is basically what's happening. Nice, there's Leap, but no kill. So they were getting aggressive with Leap here, but they couldn't just completely follow through with it. The objective, on the other hand, gets channeled, and here comes Li Ming, looking for that kill, nearly grabbing it too. Yeah, still Greymane trying to ensure that they're getting at least the objective here, but they also have to be careful that they're not losing any of their heroes. Level 16 is a nice advantage, but you still got to be able to completely play it out. Diablo might fall, and he does. Had his soul stack, so he's going to be back in a moment, and they grab the objective. So everybody is just moving back out. Diablo is back up on the map and can now make a move there. Level 16 probably going to be available to the blue team for defensive purposes, but they are losing ground and they are losing a lot of that. So, now, with 3 kills to 1, we have a very... I mean, there's not a lot of kills in this game. I mean, we had a couple of fights, but not a lot of kills. We're 12 minutes in, only 4 kills, but now the chance to not only take that last final fort in the middle out, that will of course fall. I mean, this one is a given, but also an opportunity to maybe take the first keep. Already, Sonya has eliminated, so she's down. Here's Alpha Wolf, and maybe Thrall is able to complete his quest here. He's sitting at 4 stacks right now on his level 4 talent. With Sonya killed, with Hanzo gone, that also means that you're now looking at a situation where they might not be able to do nearly as much damage with that push as they were hoping for. Because in a 4 versus 5, without a talent advantage, you're probably going to take it a little bit slower than you had initially planned. So, yeah, in this case, some walls get at least open up, so opportunities for later on in the game. And nice! They sniffed that out quickly. Good arrow. Diablo, he's going to fall. At least Brightwing made it out. But Dibbles gets bullied around a bit. So the Anti-Clown Association has not given up on this game yet. It's 3 kills to 3 now. They're still half a level behind, a little bit more than that. But they are fighting. They are really fighting. They haven't taken a single fort out yet, so they weren't able to destroy a single one of those. But they have not lost a keep. They've done well on the last defense when it came to the objective. And they are just doing whatever they can in order to ensure that they are still able to get back into the game and reclaim a position. The bosses are going to be exchanged again. Each team moves in for one down at the bottom of the map. The European team is now claiming one, and up at the top, with the help of Hanzo, you have the Americans do the same thing here. So boss for a boss, everybody's pressuring again. Top side fort might get destroyed now, and at the bottom of the map, they're not even trying to push with this, but might damage the keep to an extent. Highly unlikely that's going to take it down, but yeah, should be able to at least do some damage in this. Now all the way up at the top, the attacks still keep continuing here. We have Greymane jumping in again. Yeah, and they will save that fort. That's always kind of nice when you're able to pull that off. I mean, they are obviously more of risk in losing a structure than their opponents simply because they still have forts on the map. But this one is still going to make it. And down at the bottom, this is actually a little bit more damage on the keep than I expected. This is way more damage down here than I expected. Damn! Fight in the middle of the map, but that bottom keep is taking a beating. So is Diablo. Sundering Better safe than sorry, I suppose. But that bottom keep is now down to 50% of its HP. Dainu with another quick disintegrate to burn the cocoon down. But this is some trouble for the blue team. Now that bottom keeping this low is an issue. Now, at the same time, it's a 5 versus 4 now in their favor, and that will help them to go for the objective here. So this is the chance that they have to bring this back a bit. Get raiders, or sorry, in this case the cavalry for the blue team, and then make your move. Try and take some of those forts out at least and start to slowly even the game. Sonya with a leap, and Thrall, no, he died again before he could complete the quest. And here is level 20 now. Yeah, level 20, so a little bit of an issue. The blue team is running from one problem into another. I'm saying this the entire time. They have a little bit of a problem here. There's a little bit of an issue. There's a small... yeah, they got a lot of problems. Basically, one problem chases another. They're always trying to come back, and I gotta appreciate the way that they're clawing their way back into this game time and time again. But it feels that every single time that they make a proper move in order to recover, they lose on at another front. And now they're being chased here. Sonya does have leap in 10 seconds. Unfortunately for her, wasn't in time to cut them completely off, but at least the blue team was able to get the objective. Would have been so much worse if they lost the hero and then they lose the objective too. But in this case, they can at least deny the objective to the red team. And HGCEULUL hasn't been able to go for a keep yet either. They've done a lot of damage at the bottom keep thanks to the boss they grabbed earlier. And now it's 4 kills to 4 and level 20 on both sides. So yeah, things are getting closer and closer between the two of them. The big difference at this point is essentially just the structures, if you're honest about it. It's really just about the structures. And that plays a big role, of course, but that the Anti-Clown Association was able to bring it back the way they did to get to a point where it's level 20 versus level 20 with even kills, that's pretty respectable. That was actually very, very good, and way more and way better than what I expected from them here. So, yeah, not too shabby. Camps are still being claimed. We also have 33,000 damage from Hanzo, 32,000 from Li Ming, so you can see that the two of them are very close when it comes to the damage numbers over here. Yeah. Plays with 160,000 siege damage in the meantime. Not shabby. Yep, he brings in some big numbers there. And yeah, down at the bottom of the map, we should get the boss come up back. Well, it's roughly a minute. So now that we are 17, 18 minutes in, 19 when the bosses spawn, they are going to become a big problem. Yeah, they're going to become a huge problem. Diablo died 3 times, so he's the punching ball at the front. And, well, in the meantime, as they're rotating down to the bottom of the map, I would assume that the red team would be more than a little bit happy to get the bottom boss. And they might just push for the keep here. Blue team has to retreat. Is already starting to hearth. And, yep, they're just being forced to hearth back. The red team is not committing to this. They're not that eager. Maze and Blaze with the tactical pause. Clear 3-2-3 moment. And it seems that Thrall is the culprit this time. So Thrall disconnecting from the game 18 minutes in. That's a little bit unfortunate. So let's hope that he's going to be able to get back in. Because if you lose a hero at this point in time, there's no other way than playing it out with the bot. And we all hope that it doesn't come to that. Alright, so he relocked. I don't know what exactly happened. I thought he disconnected and had a problem coming back into the game. But apparently, Maze and Blaze just relocked. Now, down at the bottom of the map, the boss is about to be claimed. This is exactly the problem. The blue team should cover this. I'm a little bit surprised that they aren't. They should have a huge interest in making sure that this boss is not claimed. Because this is the one that will take the bottom keep out. I really don't get it. Like, why are they not covering this at all? This is really, really weird. In my opinion, this is a massive mistake. Now, they go for the objective, they just let that slide, but they're going to lose their bottom keep now 100%, and it's not guaranteed that they're winning the objective either. So, yeah. Not quite sure how exactly this is going to play out for them. And just look what they are doing. First of all, they wanted to go for the camp here. Now they're catching Blaze, nearly getting a kill. He already had to bunker up. Arrow! And it misses completely. At the top, they're denying the objective. This one falls 100%. And Nubarak is now gone. And here comes at least a counter kill. And Nubarak goes down. Sonya is also eliminated. And there's that. So, not too bad. With this, we have 5 kills to 5 right now. At the bottom of the map, the push is coming in, and at the same time, we're having the kill, baby, against Whitemane. Diablo with a big leap into the backline. Blaze is nearly dead too, and they all survive? What? Oh, and Hanzo with a tease here. He kills Li Ming, but he also drops, and now Greymane wants to go on an absolute killing spree. They are again grabbing Blaze, but they're not able to take him on. Core obviously has been losing some hit points, but it doesn't really matter too much because it's going to be back in a second. And then in the meantime, the push to the middle thanks to the camp. But of course, it's all about the objective right now. So, that was actually nasty. They could have killed so many of the heroes here if they just got a bit closer. The defense specifically with Whitemane helping them to retreat here was on point. Roger is nearly done with this quest. Now that we're 21 minutes into the game. 21 minutes into the game, and he is nearly done with that level 4 quest. I mean, it took him a hot minute, but maybe now an opportunity. They want to go for the objective, and guys, you know what? They're actually going to get it. They're going to get it. They're grabbing the next set, and they're taking Diablo down. They might actually just now be able to win that game. This is huge. Coming off a loss in the team fight and a near victory for the red team. And now what they're doing instead is just make the play right here for the next objective and potentially for a couple of, I want to say keeps, but the forts are still standing. So it's a wild situation. The blue team is now officially taken over in the kill count. They've officially taken over in the kill count. 7 kills to 6, still a bit behind experience. Red team is hoping to force a fight and get some kills, but they also have to be careful with Diablo since he's down to 25 stacks. And yeah, in the middle the first fort falls. At the top they've at least taken the cavalry out. But this is the Anti-Clown Association now in full force trying to get some work done here, which I can absolutely appreciate. Brightwing is pushing the top lane out. Is apparently attempting to apply some additional pressure onto the fort. Sorry, the keep from the looks of it. They're saving the keep in the middle. We're 8, and down at the bottom of the map, this one should fall as well. So, not too bad. Yeah, 2 forts out. On the one hand, you want to say like, wow, they killed 2 forts. On the other hand, you look at it and you're like, well, we're 23 minutes into the game, and all that they got is 2 forts. That's the problem when you don't take any forts down throughout the entire game. You're getting on a late game objective that has properly scaled, and you just can't take anything of note down. Taking the 2 forts helps them. It reduces some of the pressure. It's definitely not bad, but they wanted more. Brightwing is, by the way, completely trapped here. And yeah, is able to see out, but the top side fort gets now destroyed, so at least the outer ring of defense is now eliminated. So this one's gone. And yeah, in the meantime, we have the red team still angling for a potential kill. They are the entire time looking for more ways to move in and get a quick kill. Maybe steal a camp away. Oh, and now we get that topside boss. Yep. So, boss is about to be taken here. And they are pushing instead in the middle. Oh, Diablo at the top! He's able to get a kill! Brightwing is coming in too! No way! Okay, Cocoon prevents the worst from happening. Thrall, by the way... Oh, nice! Thrall dodging! Look at that! Dodging leap by using his blink to get out. Check that out again. Have a look at Thrall and have a look at Sonya. So, with Cocoon, they secured the boss. Good for them. And then Thrall, bam! Just blinks out. Now, I don't even know if he was actually trying to blink the leap or if he was just trying to get away from Diablo and the leap was just a happy accident. Either way, it looked cool. If it was intentional, if you saw Sonya coming, then even better. But that said, he still hasn't completed his level 4 quest. I'm not going to be tired to point that out time and time again, because we're now 25 minutes into the game, basically. So the boss is at the top, still doing damage here. Very likely, well, can he take the... might not be able to take the keep out. At least not if somebody moves back and does something about it. 7 kills to 7. And with 2 keeps now gone on the blue team side, it means that any push for core could end the game. They don't have... well, they have 1 armor shield left. The majority of the armor shields are now gone. And that's always a problem when you're playing on Ultra Pass. Now you're vulnerable. Now you are in potential trouble. They're moving down to the bottom of the map to get another boss. I love how they're just always believing in their ability to bring it back. So the blue team now ready to go for boss number 2. They're also going to grab that. They have to be also really careful. If they followed the flow of the game in any way, shape or form, they know that the Europeans really like to trap them here and that they've tried multiple times. So any rotation that they make has to be a cautious one. This boss is going to move for the bottom keep. So far, the European team hasn't lost a keep yet, but there's always camps pushing for the core now. And in this case, it's Blaze that is dealing with them in the mid lane and is trying to push them back here. So, objective is up, and it's now slowly starting to tick in favor of HGCEULUL. Roger still attempting to finish his level 4, and now he's sitting at 3 stacks. And the core is slowly going to lose a couple of hit points. One of the problems, of course, that those bosses have is every single time that they're on lane, they're getting attacked by Greymane, and Greymane is a monster on these things. So, yeah, this one's going to be taken. Brightwing playing very far out now. Brightwing really playing the Mega Global, and apparently they're sacrificing the keep. Wow, they're actually sacrificing this one. Ooh. No armor shield on the core, none? Now even the minions are becoming a problem. Oh boy. They are really banking all of their hopes onto the objective and winning the next big team fight, aren't they? Yeah, that could become a big, big problem for them. Now you are absolutely pinned down in your base. And they know it too. Diablo is channeling. Blue team has to force a fight eventually. If the objective is won by the Europeans, it is clearly over. It's absolutely over. So, that is, I mean, yep. Let's see. 7 kills to 7. We now got all the ults up. Not a single keep left anymore. And this is potentially getting dangerous. Well, no, it's not potentially getting dangerous. It is very, very dangerous. Oh my god. So. Not bad. I mean, all the way up at the top. Next fight. Cocoon! And then Disintegrate. It's the main reason. I mean, it is the reason why Liming picked Disintegrate in the first place. But now the core gets attacked, and as I said before, oh, but Greymane falls. Arrow comes out, Greymane falls, Sonya falls. Oh, don't tell me. 5 versus 3 all of a sudden. Just as the core gets attacked and is actually losing hit points because it doesn't have any armor shields anymore. Here might be the opportunity for ACA to still make the move. Valamar, Whitemane with some big, sick plays to keep them alive. Nagrom is diving deeper and deeper into the opponent's team in an attempt to get kills. And can't. He's down. He didn't have his stacks. He's gone. Liming is trying to escape. And they are still trying to chase Brightwing, I suppose. Brightwing is moving around, but is also wasting their time. Brightwing is wasting their time right now. Yasuo will fall, likely, but it's going to cost them a bit. So, yeah. Oh, Yasuo! The Juke Master gets away! You gotta be kidding me! Insane! He jukes it all and is able to escape. 29 minutes into the game. The keep in the middle has been destroyed. They are going for the objective right now, but in only a few seconds, Diablo is going to be back. Brightwing, absolutely insanity what Yasuo pulled off there. Totally crazy. I thought he would die eventually and that he would be willing to waste their time a bit to allow others to come back, and nope, we're having none of that. Instead, Brightwing just says, nah, dying, I tried it, I don't like it. But the objective is taken again. The Anti-Clown Association is winning objective after objective after objective. And at some point, the Europeans have to figure out how they want to deal with this. So they're trying to set up a little bit of a trap here. Once again, as so often, burning down that, cover very quickly. And here comes the flank. The flank is coming in. They're trying immediately for it. And how is this going to play out now? Cocoon is already being used, gets lasered right away. Diablo trying to make his play at the top. Sonya could still go for leap if they find a proper target here, or if she has to escape. Arrow connects with Li Ming, sundering, and Brightwing to the rescue. Li Ming still dies, and so does Brightwing. The Anti-Clown Association might just have won the game here. They might just have won that game. What an epic game one between these two teams. And the Americans now on their way to victory. Diablo is dead. 3 heroes gone. This is it. This is game. No recovering from this. They had no keep left. Nothing left. And they still won it. What a performance by the blue team. Nicely done. GG and well played as ACA locks in the victory on Aldrich Pass.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Map number 2, Infernal Shrines. I suppose the Europeans are a bit unhappy with what just happened. Kudos to the Anti-Clown Association. That was a very resilient performance. That they didn't lose that game at least, I want to say, half a dozen times was quite the feat. And then turning it around the way that they did, not too bad. I mean, winning the last 3 objectives in a row really helped them there. And they were able to pull something off that I would not have believed they could. I really thought this game was over and that the Europeans would take the lead. But nope. Instead, they're losing 2 fights towards the end, and then all of a sudden, 29 minutes in, the blue team turns the game around and takes the lead in the best of 3 series. So, very nice for the Anti-Clown Association. Now they just have to figure out, hey, how are we gonna deal with this? It's Infernal Shrines. Diablo has already been played, so they ban Diablo out. They don't want Nagrom to bully them around on the shrine. Lucio gets also banned, but I am more than intrigued to see which team claims victory in game number 2 now, because map number 1 was a blast. I mean, an absolute delight. So, what we get Sylvanas. Sylvanas is our first pick right away, and yeah, with Lopaka locking her in, how are the NA boys reacting right now? They really liked the Nuburag dive in game number 1. Don't think we're going to see that here mirrored here immediately, but I would like to again see an aggressive combo. The team fights worked well for them at the end. They go again with Blaze, and this time they use Junkrat. Junkrat always awesome when you're fighting for a shrine. Just pepper it from the outside with a couple of grenades, and you can also, of course, secure the flank a bit with him, set some traps up and stuff. So lots of things to do here with Junkrat, but Blaze as a staple in the team composition. Also making a lot of sense for them, especially with Infernal Shrines, of course, being a map where you benefit from AoE. So Leo comes to mind for the Europeans. This is a hero that they could play if they wanted now, but Nagrom starts things off with Jojo, so that's where you get with your Condemn also an AoE damage, and you have a very solid position on the shrine. Just a hero that is very difficult to kill. Rhaegar helping out with the lightning shield, with that burst, so yeah, not too bad. But okay. That gives us now the ban on Leoric. So Leo gets banned. It was too obvious of a choice. And the Europeans really like to play it, which the Americans are well aware of. So they just ban him out. Which still leaves us in the playoffs in the round robin with a single Leoric play. Just one. With how many matches now? 5, 6, something along those lines. And we only saw Leoric a single time. It's actually kind of crazy. So Anduin gets banned. No crybaby on in this game, in this series. It's actually a bit surprising to me how little we've seen combos with Anduin plus Genji and a light bomb so far. It's not something that we're getting a lot. Brightwing gets picked now. Yeah, with Yasuo picking Rega this time, they're locking Brightwing in. Probably still impressed from the monster jukes that we had from Yasuo's Brightwing in game number 1. Not that it won them the game or anything. And yeah, here comes Garrosh as our main tank for the blue team on Infernal Shrines. Quick flip into a Junkrat, trap into a Blaze, stun. There's a lot that you can technically do with this. The final 2 picks for the European. Keep in mind this is match point for the blue team, match point for the American team. So right now it's a big question of whether or not this is going to be a 2-0 victory, or if HGCEULUL can bring this back and force game number 3. They would have to win 2 in a row if they want to be successful here. We have Dehaka on the side lane, and we get Gul'dan. So you have a lot of AoE, a lot of push power also with Sylvanas when you get the objective, but the AoE potential is enormous. So yeah, they should do well on the objective at least, and also pushing out those side lanes. That leaves us with our final pick. I actually don't know if Thrall even completed his level 4 quest on the last map. I don't think he did, but on the final pick we get Genji. So ladies and gentlemen, we're jumping into Infernal Shrines with the Anti-Clowning Association running a lead over the European opponents. It's match point. Let's go. On the left, for the blue team, we have Valamar on Brightwing, Roger on Genji, Mason Blaze on Blaze, got Filth on Garrosh, and Kelsier on Junkrat. On the right side of the map, the Europeans trying to force game number 3 with Dino on Sylvanas. We have Nagrom playing Janna, Hazops on Dehaka, Yasuo on Rega, and Lopaka, last but not least, on Gul'dan. So, with that, we have now the chance for the blue team to claim a 2-0 victory here. Genji as that final pick. I went full Overwatch on this one. Both of the damage dealers go all out on the Overwatch drain. We now have also Chaotic Energy on level 1, so again Gul'dan with a drain build here. No Fell Flame, no Echo Corruption, but instead going all in on drain, which is also going to help him against some of the heroes on the other side, like for example Genji, of course, whenever he starts to make a move. And Godfilth is already busy with Garrosh at the front, gets a flip, okay, but they're not able to really dish out a lot of damage against Dehaka in this case. But of course, they are going to be trying aggressively to make some moves here. Now in this case, going for Nagrom, and if you had still all the cooldowns there, that could have become a bit of a problem, I suppose. But yeah, right now, things are still fairly alright for them. But it's an interesting situation to be in the first place. Again, I think the Europeans are not going to be happy with what played out here so far whatsoever, because they were looking exceptionally strong and really looked like they would win the game. But now you're down one map, and if you just make a couple of mistakes here, then all of a sudden the entire thing gets flipped against you and you lose the best of 3 series. So whether or not they are going to be able to turn this around and force another game, that is to be seen. But at least right now they have a lineup with which they can dominate on the objective and then capitalize on it with Sylvanas as she starts to disable everything, and they can then push in and make their play. So already a little bit of aggression being dished out down at the bottom of the map as they're starting to make a move here. So yeah, still continuing to just soften up some of these walls. Sylvanas is hoping to get into the same situation all the way up at the top. She's obviously now looking to just use her trade and help the rest of the minion wave or the camp to dish out some proper damage against the structures, maybe break through the gate itself. So everything's just quite slow. Most likely we're gonna get the big fights when it comes to the first objective in the game. It's also when the teams are trying to aim for level 7, so that they have a slight advantage here, but in experience nobody has really gotten a big lead yet. So everybody's still just playing around that. And yeah, in the meantime, first objective is now popping up, and they've already I've already taken their camp, but I honestly was thinking that they might double check what's happening over here on the top left and then even invade, but so far they haven't done that yet. So since they took their own camp earlier, it means that it can now get defended against, and then the blue team might still have a camp up at the top side that can help them push and maybe distract somebody on the opponent side. But it's mostly about experience right now to get that level 7 talent that I already highlighted earlier. Jojo immediately taking position. The entire blue team actually is apparently taking offense that Johanna is invading their space here. So they're taking over. Sylvanas is still pushing at the bottom of the map, so it seems like the main strategy of HGCEULUL is to go for counter pressure, and this is something that we are seeing oftentimes on the first objective, sometimes even on the second. So they are trying to just do a lot of damage. They are okay losing the objective. As long as they do enough damage to compensate for it, they're fine. And since they not only took out the wall, but also the 4 to 50% of its HP, it's very likely that they are currently doing more damage than the blue team would be able to if they win the objective. And that's not even guaranteed, because the Europeans are fighting for this one. Even with Sylvanas just now respawning, it's 30 against 31, so they're insanely close. And again, it comes down to all of that AoE that the European team is running. But they are missing out. Sylvanas being dead is not making their job there easier. So yes, that's... Oh, Genji down. Nice. Oh, but that jump from the Punisher. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I think if the Punisher didn't jump on it at its stun, then Sylvanas would have most likely survived this. But again, if Sylvanas wouldn't have died at the bottom, I think they could have maybe even won the objective. But yep, here we go. Punisher jump, and now of course there was a kill for a kill. But if you look at the damage done, you can very quickly see that the Punisher in that sense wasn't necessarily worth it. I mean, way more damage done to the structures down at the bottom of the map. So yeah, definitely a little bit of a problem with all of this. But that's the situation that we're in right now. First objective, again, you can let it slide at the beginning a little bit, which is exactly what they were doing here. Now they're still trying to go for these counter push plays that we've seen. I mean, Dino was always really fond of side lane pushing with Sylvanas, and this game is no exception. If he gets assistance from anybody else, they can accelerate the process even further, which is essentially what they're currently doing here. So now we have camps again claimed. Sylvanas already taking the safe path towards the top to ensure that they can deal with Blaze once he pushes the next minion wave in. But there's still some action happening down at the bottom of the map, as they're now also hoping to escort those Khazras in and do more damage. But Gul'dan gets attacked, Genji comes in, and he survives. Gul'dan makes it. Good for him. So Gul'dan is still alive and kicking. Did not get killed. Sylvanas at the top. On the other hand, might fall. Dino. Oh! Even with a little bunker play, they were not able to take Dino out. He completely juked them, was able to survive, and now the fight continues at the bottom of the map as they're moving in on this. It's now action all over the place. I mean, every single lane becomes quickly a target. We have level 10 abilities for both teams. No surprises on the heroic abilities here. We get Wailing Arrow again. Sylvanas hesitating there for a second longer than anyone else. X-Strike for Genji. So no Dragon Blade. Not that it necessarily was a big option here for him or anything. Don't see it these days all that often anymore. But yep, the Dragon Blade is not the choice. We get the X-Strike. A few more camps now claimed by the red team, as we have Genji just nibbling on the edges with one shuriken attack after another, trying to soften the targets up a bit so that potentially they can move in for a kill. Next objective should also soon be announced, but for now at least, we have 2 kills to 1. Still very even in experience as well. Nobody has been able to walk away with a big lead or anything yet. And at the bottom of the map, we're now fighting for the next one. Camps, of course, at the top right and top left will now play a big role. Get those shamans. It's literally the lane that is the farthest removed from the objective. So if you are able to set that camp up properly, you might be able to do structural damage to your opponents. Towers, gates, fort. And if you can get Sylvanas on that lane, then I mean even better. But yeah, the Argas at the top, that's where they can now utilize their global, which very likely they're gonna be trying to pull off. Right Wing, of course, is trying to also counterplay this a bit, but as explained 100 times in the past, Right Wing just simply doesn't have the same amount of waves here, and that becomes a problem when you want to make these moves. So what we're getting instead is at the bottom of the map, the fight over the objective. The Haka still battling up at the top, but the blue team has now taken control down here. So the blue team has currently taken control of the shrine. It's going to be a frozen Punisher, so a very powerful one as well. as the fight starts to go straight in. Horrify. All the ults have basically already been used here. Bunker negated a lot of it, so they were able to bunker it up, but nobody has died yet. The Haka moved back down to the bottom of the map, but the blue team is still the one who walks away with most of the Shrine minions. They're sitting at 25 to 17, and they're getting more and more control here. So the Anti-Cloud Association, they are again looking pretty good. We don't have big advantages for anyone yet. A talent advantage for a very short period of time now for the European team, but the Frozen Punisher has been claimed by their opponents. So ACA takes the Frozen Punisher, one of the strongest that we currently have in the game, the strongest that we have in the game, and they will get some value. Question is always just how much, but now that they're also able to take the Haka out, this is probably going to increase it. So the Haka is gone, that's kill number 3. Punisher is still jumping around, and can they at least break the wall? I mean, not even that is guaranteed, I guess. So less damage than I expected here, but they got another kill. And that caught them even further up in experience. So it's again a tense game. A very tense one already, and it's just now starting up. So yeah, following in the footsteps of game number 1, if you ask me. Sylvanas, still a threat. A massive threat, of course. Sitting at the bottom of, at the top of the map, pushing, hoping to go for structures again. And the blue team responds with their side laner time and time again, making the move there. Now we're also having the bot lane slightly attacked. Not a single fort has been taken out in this game, even though it started with one getting damaged very severely. As Sylvanas was pushing, I believe it was with Rhaegar at the time. Damage output. We're now looking at 27,000 for Genji, and we have 17,000 for Gul'dan. The drag is in. Maybe now the chance. They Blaze down. He bunkers up quickly. Blaze with the bunker, and can they get a kill or anything here? Nah, doesn't seem like it. Everybody was hoping to get a kill. And maybe now? Yes, there we go. Genji is gone, and Garrosh has to fall. He does. Genji and Garrosh, the G's are gone. That's 3 kills to 3, and now that level advantage or the experience advantage back in the hands of the Europeans. It is a back and forth game, but this is the problem when you're going up against Sylvanas. If you lose multiple heroes, she can usually be the one that very quickly comes in and helps the team to get massive value out of that numbers advantage. And that's exactly what they were able to do here. So they came in, took a fort out, moved down to the bottom of the map in order to destroy a second one. And with that situation, it means that 2 forts destroyed. We have level 16 in the hands of the Europeans, so they are getting the lead here. Mid-game, the European team is just reigning a bit superior. Now, after game number 1, that doesn't mean a whole lot anymore, because that was quite the comeback. And if they can perform like that again, and it's the late game that the Europeans should be worried about more so than anything else. They're rotating now from one point to the next, getting their own camp, starting to play that very safe, hitting all the bases essentially, and getting ready for the next shrine. They also would love nothing more but eliminating the fort at the top. If you can destroy this one too, it means that there's like no fountain left anymore. Absolutely zero, so a play here would be great, but they can't do enough damage for it. Instead, it will be the shrine that they're fighting for, and that's exactly where the two teams are headed. The Haka still aiming for a camp though, so he's currently still looking to grab a camp first. Blaze is defending at the top. With both teams on level 16, it also gave us now final cut. And this time it's the red team that has the lead. So, can they pull it off now? Are they going to be able to win the objective? This is going to be a Mortar Punisher. Would help you to go straight for some keep damage, I guess. And the blue team is already retreating. Horrifier has been used. Garrosh does his best to keep everybody alive. And it's just throwing targets back out, so they're still doing okay here. Blaze has a bunker up. There's quite a lot of ults that are still in play for them in that fight. But they are going from one point to another, but this could be the kill. Genji low, gets shielded, needed healing, got the healing, and is still looking good here. The bunker is up 36 to 26 stacks, and now it's the Europeans that will grab the objective here. They get the Mortar Punisher. Can they also get a kill? They're trying. Blaze! Yeah, it's Garrosh that falls. Garrosh is gone. Blaze is able to escape. And Genji is again in trouble and makes it this time out, but barely. He could have fallen too. It could have been a double kill, but instead he was able to escape. So there's that. They should be able to do a lot of damage now in the middle though. Punisher gets baited over, so they're trying to play around that. But then at the same time, with the help of Sylvanas, they can easily go for that keep, and they will take it out. So the Europeans, they are taking control of the game once again. Very reminiscent to what initially happened on All Direct Pass, but can they bring it over time this time around? That's the bigger question. And it's one that we are going to answer soon, TM. I mean, for now, they're looking good. They're having more than a level advantage. 1.5 levels, actually. So, yeah, not too bad. But still. They fell short in game number 1. They definitely did. But now they have a chance to force game number 3. ACA, they have a very different vision of what they are hoping for. They would love nothing. I mean, essentially they have to do the exact same thing that they did in game number 1, right? They gotta endure, 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 and then at some point just say, alright, now we're flipping the game again. If they can make that happen twice in a row, that would be more than impressive. It would actually be pretty sexy. It would be fun. Can they though? Now the first thing that happens is we got the attack over here at the top to eliminate the final fort. So with level 20 inching closer and closer as well for the red team, the team from North America has to just sit tight and soak experience and let it happen. So there's very little that you can now do again. I am not sure if they are. I mean, they just gotta sit tight, right? They can't make any big plays while level 20 is threatened on the other side, or essentially already there. Unless you find a target somewhere, you can find somebody that you can collapse on and can take out quickly. But yeah, might even have to give out an objective. It will probably be, well. On the one hand, I want to say, if they have to give up an objective, it's likely that they're going to lose another keep, and they can't really afford to do so. And then I'm reminded of game number 1, where they had literally no keep left, and they still somehow pulled it off, which I would not have thought possible. But yeah, they might have to repeat the same miracle. So now level 20 talents are ready. They're trying to escape down at the bottom of the map, and it seems like they're all being able to get away. The Europeans are spending quite a lot of time trying to get these pickoffs to chase them down, and whenever they are negated, it's obviously a bit of a setback because they could have done something else, maybe sieged up somewhere. And given the time frame, you know what? Maybe there's actually a chance that they don't even have to give up the top objective and will get to level 20 in time. Gul'dan went for Circle. Gul'dan with the Demonic Circle and positioned it right here. So yeah, we can try and use that later. Now the timer is on, so we got 30 seconds until we're continuing with the next objective. That allows Blaze now to, I guess, push the bot lane out a bit. Still not a single fort destroyed, by the way, on the red team side. Not a single fort has fallen on the Europeans. And again, it reminds me of something. It very much reminds me of something. But the attacks, they keep now coming. They're trying what they can to get to level 20, and they will have it in a moment. But it might be a bit too late because the red team has already taken control of the thingy, of the shrine, and is now taking the lead. So if the blue team really wants to make a move here, they have to go all out on the team fight and try and shut them down. They can't just simply go for a shrine fight and nibble, hope to get the upper hand here. That's not going to be a thing. Gul'dan escaping here, but there's the kill. Genji is gone, and this might just shut down all of the attempts from them. Right wing is still sitting in the base, dealing with the catapult here, but the rest of the team is falling apart. Blaze has been killed just after Genji went out, and now there's no denying what's happening at the top. They're gonna get all wiped. Full 5-man team wipe. And they're not even bothering with the objective anymore, and why the hell would they? I mean, them taking out every single hero on the other team allows them to easily move towards the core and claim victory. So we are going to game number 3 from the looks of it. Unless they are somehow completely hinting on this one, this is going to be a 3rd game in this series. So yes, nicely done The core is already taken halfway out. Shield is removed, and this is going to be game. We're going to go to game number 3 between the Anti-Clown Association and HGCEULUL as the red team wins on Infernal Shrines. GG. Game number 3. We're going the distance on this series. Towers of Doom is our map. And this is the chance for the Europeans to redeem themselves fully and take the 2-1 victory. Insta-ban on the Vikings. For good reason. But yeah, the Anti-Clown Association with an incredible comeback in game number 1. Game number 2, they weren't quite able to pull that off. So now, of course, they gotta see, hey, can we win on the 3rd map? They went first pick, first ban, the NA team. And the Europeans decided that they want to play this one out on Towers of Doom. Which doesn't really come as a shock, but I'm very curious what kind of composition we're now getting here. We're gonna get something like nasty hammer comp, or it's just something like a more team fight focused composition. Get the Haka at the top lane, now we're gonna get Leoric. It's also kind of interesting to me because after their first game where Nagrom played Diablo, they banned Diablo. Then he plays Johanna in game number 2, so now they're banning Johanna. Does that mean that their first pick is going to be Diablo for themselves? Or how are they going to play that one now? It would be kind of funny if they are just targeting Nagrom with everything that they're doing. Maiev gets banned again. I would also love something like, give me an Abathur comp or something. It's a shame that the Vikings are being banned, but again, makes obviously perfect sense. They are also watching European Heroes of the Storm. They know that the Europeans play a lot of Vikings here, and that they are... there's at least one good Viking player on the red team. Yeah, Sylvanas. So they are the ones to go for the Sylvanas this time as an early pick. Nagrom could go Diablo. If you really wanted to go for Dibbles, then this would be an opportunity to do exactly that and give him a proper main tank. That is right down his alley, so one of his preference picks. And they do. Diablo and Junkrat. Dino's Junkrat, we get Diablo. So a lot of poke from Dino in this game as well. But Sylvanas now on the other side. And what exactly is the Anti-Clown Association now going to do? They know... I mean, you got a little bit of a feeling if the series goes to the 3rd map of what's going on the other side and how they're playing the game. So now that you know you're up against Diablo, how you're going to deal with that. We have Blaze for the top lane. If they wanted to, they could, for example, ban also Leoric again. I assume that the decision at the top lane will be between the Haka and Leoric. Maybe Yrel. Yrel vibes well with Diablo too. So it's another option for them. But yeah, let's see what they're gonna do. First we have the bans, of course, kicking in. You could ban out the front line now. If you're worried that there's gonna be another stun coming in from whoever. Chromie, on point damage here. Yeah, Chromie is getting a lot of play and also a lot of bans in all of this. Which, again, does not really surprise. With 30k we're seeing it a lot too. I mean, Madara has been playing, Mephisto has been playing Chromie, so we'll see more 30k games later. And I would assume that Chromie either makes an appearance as a ban or as a pick there too. But in this case at least she gets the axe, so she's not going to be part of this one. And yeah, on top of that, we are getting for the red team. Still need also that side laner. And the Haka gets banned, so is it Leo this time? We get Yrel. Yeah. Yrel Diablo, always a good combo. And together with that Anduin, which could even result in Genji now being taken. I actually talked in this series about how Genji and Anduin is not really being played a whole lot, and that light bomb engaged, while usually so powerful, is a bit underused in this tournament. And this could be one of those instances where they're saying, okay, we are now comboing the two and trying to get some value out of them. And here's Arthur's again. They've already done that before with Arthur's once, and it worked very well for them. So Arthur's and Hanzo. Okay. Arthur's Hanzo is in the house. And yep. Let's see what they can pull off here. What can they do with that? And also, what are we getting on the other side now? Tracer. Tracer Engage is also working for me. Towers of Doom, the third map, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go. It is the final map in the best of 3 series between HGC, EULUL and the Anti-Clown Association. Game number 3. The final map. Mason Blaze on Blaze. Kelsey on Hanzo for the blue team. The Americans are playing with Roger on Sylvanas. We got Godfilth on Arthas and Valamar on Brightwing. They like to bust out Arthas every now and then, and I actually think that's super cool. On the right side, HGCEULUL with Hanzo on Yrel. We get Lopaka on Junkrat, Dainu on Tracer, Nagrom, as in game number 1, is playing Diablo, and we have Yazu on Anduin. So, it's time. Who's winning the series? Who takes the best of 3? Already, Dibbles moving straight into the middle here. We have Junkrat at the bottom, so I doubt that they're fully engaging into that team fight. Not with Junkrat peppering grenades into the minion wave at bot lane any moment now. But up here at the top, or in the middle, they are at least just poking around, just slightly. Nothing too insane. Tracer is now rushing around too and trying to intercept Mason Blaze on his rotation towards the top. And gets a bit of damage already. And so it's always nice when you get that free damage, helps you a little bit on the lane. I mean, Yrel is obviously going to take over eventually. Tracer is therefore just breaking the mold slightly. And they are interested in getting a kill here. Brightwing is now coming in, and so is Sylvana, so this could have gotten a bit dicey. Instead, it is Yazu that dies. The Crybaby is the first one to fall. Not talking about Yazu, by the way, talking about Anduin here. So yeah, sorry, that came across the wrong way. Yeah. That's not quite what I wanted to say here. But yeah, so he goes down, Anduin is eliminated, and Junkrat, in the meantime, has started to, at the bottom of the map, go for their pumpkins, which is something that, of course, gets mirrored by the blue team, as they're currently trying to do the exact same here. But yeah, Anduin down. They're still trying to go for Mason Blaze here, but he, so far at least, has not been fooled, has not been taken out. So down at the bottom of the map, still, it's all about them trying to, of course, maybe now. Trying to make a play and set up a couple of traps, always bait some heroes over and then catch them on the rotation, see what you can do in that spot. But right now, the situation as is, we have still these aggressive little plays made by Arthas that are trying to just get a CC train going so that they can take some heroes out, and I kind of like it. Now we get level 4 talents that are slowly starting to kick in for both of them. That's again Deathlord, mirroring the build that we've seen from him before. All the way up at the top, our 1 versus 1 between Yrel and Blaze. And down to the bottom of the map, the rotation between the mid and the bot lane just continues. Everybody's just trying to grab experience, trying to ensure that they're not falling too far behind on that. And hopefully, of course, you're going to get a pick at some point because your opponent moves out a bit too much. In this case, Nagrom gets caught, but Yasuo still at the cooldown and is using the pull to save Diablo. Now, we are looking at the first 3 altars, and there's always the question which team is going to get the double altar and which one gets only a single altar out of these. That's at least the normal play that we are seeing. I mean, there have been 40-0 situations, but they are far and few between, so it doesn't really happen a whole lot. Already a bit of a wall stun attempt here by Diablo. Arthas, again, trying to walk him down here. Alright, and that might be a kill. Maybe not. Nah, they're getting him. Arthur's just too powerful in that situation. Slowly walks them down, exchanging altars at the top, but it's likely that with Dibbles gone, the bottom altar, the third one, is now gonna get grabbed by the Americans. So yes, the... Oh, nice interrupt from Junkrat. So yeah, Junkrat interrupts once, allows Diablo to get back. Can they interrupt a little bit further? They can, they're buying more time, okay. Maybe, just maybe, a chance to get some work done here. 2 kills to 0, but the blue team has not been able to get that altar yet. So, we'll play in the middle against Sylvanas. And Roger survives. But still, scary moment for Sylvanas here. So also be careful on these. So, Arthas is now the next target, and yeah, he just doesn't stand a chance. This is the problem with Arthas. Once that you really are on him, he can't get away anymore. So you either then turn and you win it, or you just accept your fate. And in this case, he was just fully surrounded, had no opportunities, and it is actually the European team that gets the second ult and therefore takes another 4 points off the blue team's score, which is now down to 32 points. Now this is the big comeback map in the pool. Therefore, early game advantages are always nice and neat, but you need to make sure that you are able to maintain that momentum in the mid and the late game, or you're very quickly going to get punished for that. And then with a desperate prayer here, and yeah, more pumpkins to be escorted in. So Good Filth is currently trying to slowly take those out. Wanna save the wall there. Tracer still rushing up at the top, and trying to make some small little moves on this. And gets another bomb connected as well. So sweet, good for her. They have a tiny lead in experience. Nothing that should really translate in a big advantage once they hit level 10. But we've seen small windows abused in the past. And maybe they can make it here too. It's just like early game motion. Apply some pressure at the top. And again, they are actually opening up a lot here. Taking those towers out is big, honestly. This makes Hanzo's life a lot easier. And if he gets some of the pumpkins at the top, he will start to very early already threaten the hit points of the bell tower itself and maybe threaten a conversion. So yeah, that's actually pretty huge. So now level 10 kicks in. You won't be able to force a fight here directly. Diablo with Apocalypse. We get Light Bomb, so with Tracer you can make that Light Bomb engage. The blue team is now picking up their own level 10 ability. We get the Army of the Dead for Arthas, who gets kind of caught again here. But is still totally fine with that. And they're actually hoping to maybe even turn this from the looks of it. Yeah, Light Bomb goes in on Arthas again, but they're not getting nearly enough damage against God Filth here. That build that he has is very, very tanky. You got Brightwing behind you for heal if needed, and then the army, which he has already used too. So if you're willing to just go for the ult, then that's not a problem whatsoever. The teams are exchanging the altars that have spawned at the top left and top right. Still very, very close in experience, in kills, in essentially everything right now. Yeah, Blaze up at the top and down at the bottom. I mean, again, they're just going through the motions for now. Trying to take a couple of towers down, trying to get a few additional kills. But as you can see, they're really playing it tight. Each team knows this is game 3. One mistake, losing momentum, and it might be the reason why you're losing the game. So currently, with Sylvanas, they're at least able to push past the bell tower, hoping to get a kill on Yasuo, which didn't really work out for them. So Anduin did not get dropped. But Tracer coming in might spell out the end of some of the heroes here. Light Bomb engage again, and this time Arthas is in trouble. The Apocalypse follow-up was too much to handle then, and this is kill number 2 for the European team. So they get their second kill, they push the opponent back and shut down the aggression that we saw from them. And in the meantime, Blaze has taken the freedom that he enjoys at the top lane to push for the towers and even get some assistance from Sylvanas here, as she's hoping, from Sylvanas, as she's hoping to help them out too. But the wall has now been destroyed. So teams are rotating. Aggressive rotations, always trying to get a kill somewhere, always trying to make a bit of a move. Sylvanas allowing them to push past bell towers, but the response from both teams has been really nice whenever the opponent is making an aggressive play. Junkrat is now all the way down at the bottom of the map, and Lopaka, yeah, that's a kill. Lopaka gets killed, Junkrat is down, so they are losing control over the bot lane. That's the 3rd kill for the Anti-Clown Association, for the ACA. And yeah, that's a double altar spawning with Junkrat gone for another 14 seconds. That might help them to take some control here, but it certainly makes things uncomfortable for the red team. They gotta play this slow. Death timers are low though, so shouldn't be too big of a deal. Alright, they go for Hanzo, at least they're trying to. Brightwing immediately helping out. Obviously they weren't quite sure if there's other heroes around that could jump on him. But Diablo had to be saved again. Gotta save Diablo. Channels are now being claimed, and that is 24 points to 28 now on the core. So the blue team has taken an advantage. 30 talents for both. Arrow comes out. Arthur's still in trouble here, and he's just pinned down. He can't get away. The wall doesn't let him pass, and the rest of the team, they're just going to full-on body block him. So that's the end of Arthur's. That's 3 kills to 3, and maybe the momentum is now again shifting in favor of the HGCEULUL boys, as they are desperately trying to win this series. Game number 1, they nearly had it. You could argue that they should have won the first game, but their opponent was just simply too resilient, and then in the end found the perfect opportunity to turn the game around, and did. So you give them an opportunity and you can be assured they're going to take it. But right now, the Europeans are starting to slowly get a bit of an advantage again. They're poking those structures out just a little bit more. But it can all flip. You win one team fight with Sylvanas and you can convert a bell tower like it's nothing. So yeah, they definitely have still a lot of chances to turn this around very, very quickly if they just dominate in a team fight or two. And you look at the bottom bell tower, they nearly have it. So they're going to claim this one first. The lead for the blue team now. And this was also nicely timed. As long as they don't lose anybody up at the top. Blaze is dealing with 2 right now. He's dealing with Dino and with Hanzo and is doing well. But since the bottom altar is spawning this time, it means that it's very difficult to access for the red team, and should be a freebie. There should be 5 free points. We got Brightwing already on it. Nobody's even thinking to interrupt that. So yep, the shots get fired and they're going to be down to 19. Blaze retreats at the top, already realizing that he's probably in trouble if he moves too far out. Arrow at the bottom misses, but 16 is getting closer now. So they're going to get 16 soonish, and up at the top, Blaze. No mistakes so far. Nothing big, at least. He's been always playing it very, very slow and safe, and that was mega important because the European team has now tried to trap him. How many times? 3? 4? Like, they really are attempting to gank up on him and take him out, but he's been playing this very, very slowly, very calm, and has just made sure that he doesn't die. That jet propulsion, on the other hand, might be a bit of a problem for him. He gets assistance from Brightwing, so the friends are there, but Brightwing dies, and it doesn't really look too good for the blue team now. Do they lose more? No, they don't. So they don't lose more heroes. Well, maybe no. Got Filth, Arthurs, taps the fountain, and he's fine. But yep, that could have been very tricky. It's still a bit of a weird one, because they're likely going to lose the bell tower now, and Arthurs dies after all. So it's taking them some time to take him down, but Arthurs indeed dies. He's gone. The bell tower is converted. At the bottom, they miss the arrow against Lopaka. No! If they connect that, they get a kill. But yeah, it was a short distance arrow to begin with, and then they lose it. So, unfortunate. I mean, with this, we're looking at 5 kills to 3. Lead in experience by nearly a level for the Europeans. Sylvanas is attempting to retake the bell tower at the top, using a trade and also the minion wave in order to bring this back. We have a triple altar phase right now, and the channels are already happening. First 4 shots are fired by the red team. They're getting another channel with Dino. So by now we're looking at 20 points against 19, but at least Blaze is able to get 4 shots for his own team. So a 5-point gap on the core between the two teams here, as they're trying to retake at the bottom of the map. So each team is now going back to its initial state when it comes to control here. And the Americans are trying to get the boss, and the Europeans have sniffed it out immediately and are now making an engage. With the Apocalypse, light bomb on top of it. The boss still active. I mean, they're going for it. Someone is going to get those 4 shots. And they're all up on the point here. Diablo low, the stuns! And the Europeans are losing not only Rel, but also Diablo. They wanted to steal the boss away, and that's now 2 heroes gone. Dino dies 3rd, nearly got a counter kill, but that was shut down too. So now we have 3 heroes eliminated on the side of HGCEULUL. They bit off a bit more than they can chew here, and now they might pay the price. They might lose some of their bell towers again. They have definitely sacrificed the experience lead that they had up to this point. So camps are now being claimed, more pumpkins for the blue team, and these are exactly the kind of plays that they need here. Making the play for boss and then failing at it feels always bad. That's exactly what went down here. So, yeah, they lost that. And now, what can they do? What can they pull off? I mean, for now, we have the bell tower converted at the bottom of the map. It was a given that they would at least lose one. But, yeah, this one hurts. Damage output, we got 43,000 for Tracer and 45,000 for Sylvanas. And just as a bit of a thought experiment, just imagine how this would now look if instead of failing the boss steal, they would have gotten a kill and grabbed the 4 shots. It would be a completely different game. But now, shots are fired again, single digits on the core for HGCEULUL as the ACA, the Anti-Clown Association, is getting closer and closer to a potential victory. 6 points to 20 and also Storm Talents. So they are pressing again. And Arthas is doing so insanely well. If they win here, this would be Arthas with 2 matches played, 2 games played, and 2 victories. So 100% win rate if he actually takes it for them. Which would be more than a little bit impressive. But yep, now it's 6 bell towers to 2, and they're having a tough time retaking those in the first place. So very, very interesting games that we're seeing. This entire series has been a bit nuts. Starting with game number 1, which was absolutely crazy. And then game number 2, where you still always felt that maybe they can still bring it back. Talking about bringing it back, they're trying. They're really trying to bring it back here now too. So they are sending everybody towards the middle to reclaim the bell tower. There's a double altar spawning next. And, well, you can't really lose too much there. So they need a teamfight victory. They have level 20 now as well. It's a level playing field once again. And off we go. Diablo is immediately low. So is Yrel. The altars are spawning. Yeah, arrows are being YOLO'd out too. And everybody's still alive. But now we have the altars up. Same time, Yrel with their own ult. Brightwing coming in for an assistant. And yeah. So they're coming back down to grab the altars. Fire the shots. If they get both, it's over. If they only get one, I mean, they have to stop the pumpkins if they want to make sure that the game is going to be fine. Because if one pumpkin makes it through and then you channel one altar, that's going to be the end. So, yep. Tough times. In the middle of the map, the real fight starts up. This is going to be the big one. Ah, there's a double kill. They get Anduin and Hanzo dies on the other side. But without a support, it's going to be tough. The damage output for now is nice, but here's the kill against Junkrat. A single point on the core of the Europeans. They're taking at least Sylvanas out. I mean, Dino does whatever he can to get the kills here for them, but it's obviously rough going. It's a 3 versus 3 now, and they're hoping to take another target down, but everybody's dropping low, specifically Diablo himself. So Dino is just nibbling, is dodging the stuns, might be able to get a kill here eventually, tries to go for Valamar, tries to go for Brightwing. There's just too much CC. There's so much CC here. Brightwing is low, Dino can't get the kill, but at least pushes it back. Now we have Yrel, re-engaging Diablo with the wall stun, and he takes him down. Nagrom with the big hits and the kill, and now Arthas is gone as well. They are able to take everyone except Brightwing out. That's the channel. They're down to a single point on the core against 17 on the other side. So 17 points to 1. They're trying to retake a couple of these bell towers now, or claim the ones over on the left side. They want to go for a double if they can. And thus far, this is working well in the middle. Arthas and Blaze aren't back. Now Junkrat is joining too. And he just unleashes everything. 66,000 damage for Tracer. The arrow connects. And Diablo is dead. Sylvanas speeds in. Takes Diablo out. Bottom of the map. They're trying to reclaim the bell tower. They want to take the lead here in bell towers now and gain some momentum. So, can they? Is this the beginning of the comeback or just delaying the inevitable? 9 kills to 9. And we're 19 minutes into the game. And the boss is up. And once that the boss is up and you are so low in points on your core, you have to go for it. You just don't have a chance there. You need to make that move. You don't have an option any longer in a situation like this. It needs to be removed as a tool for your opponent to end the game. And that's exactly what they're currently doing here. It's 4 more shots fired. That's a nice added advantage. So the core will be down to 13. But the main reason why you do it is because you want to ensure that your opponent can't end the game like this. And that's an important one. So, yeah, the fight at the bottom of the map already starting to break out over here. They want to retake that bell tower, of course, too. Apocalypse, they need to fight! Nagrom, he's diving deep and he dies. He dives deep, trying to get value for the team. Goes down, so does Anduin. They should still be able to take this one, but there is an altar up, and now it's 3 heroes that got eliminated. Junkrat died too, and this is gonna be the end. Tracer dies as well. 5-man team wipe. The channel is in, and the NA team takes the victory with a 2-1 over HGCEULUL.